thank you once again for allowing me the opportunity to speak here today. We go back to where we started. Arizonans are asking a question: who is going to keep them safe? Who's going to protect them? And I am the only candidate running that's actually prosecuted violent felonies. I'm the only candidate running that's tried criminal jury trials in both the federal and state system. I'm the only candidate that's running that's actually prosecuted public integrity cases. I worked at the Attorney General's office for 5 years. I appreciate what that office is all about. The stakes are very high in this country right now. Our neighborhoods are being overrun by folks that are smuggling drugs and people into this country. They're engaged in the sex trafficking trade. We need an Attorney General that has the experience as I do, working with federal, state, and local law enforcement, bringing those resources together to protect our communities. We also need an Attorney General that's going to work hard every day to make sure that we protect the most vulnerable in our society. And whether that's the kids, and whether that's the elderly, or even our returning veterans, we need to make sure that we're combating and aggressively pursuing identity theft, aggressively pursuing those that are engaged in computer crimes, and making sure that we're doing everything we can to protect the most vulnerable. And third, we need an Attorney General who's going to be willing to push back against the overreach of the federal government when it promulgates rules that destroy jobs here in Arizona. And there's a reason why I've been endorsed by folks like the Arizona Chamber of Commerce, by the National Federation of Independent Businesses, the largest group of more than 7,000 independent businesses throughout Arizona. It's because they want an Attorney General that is going to be there fighting to protect our communities, fighting to protect our jobs, that has the experience and the integrity, that's not going to get into games of name-calling or attacking my opponent, but wants to focus on the greatness of Arizona and what brings us together. Because as I said, so many issues facing us right now aren't issues of right and left. They're issues of right and wrong. And we need an Attorney General that'll stand tall and stand up for Arizona.
Thank you. I think past deeds predict the future. And if you look at my record of results over 17 years, you see me, a dedicated prosecutor who worked in the criminal and civil divisions of the Attorney General's office. I'm the only candidate in this race that has an expertise in financial fraud and consumer fraud and senior fraud. During my 17 years, I was the lead lawyer for the state of Arizona against Arthur Anderson for the failed audits of the Baptist Foundation of Arizona, where we were able to return $217 million to the victims of that fraud, mostly senior citizens and working class families. As the superintendent of Department of Financial Institutions during the mortgage crisis, I immediately created a mortgage fraud task force, which was instrumental in the indictments of 36 people by the Department of Justice in Operation Cashback. And I worked across party lines for 2 years to get mortgage loan officers licensed so that the felons are out of the industry. I have 17 years of uninterrupted public service to the people of Arizona, and I've worked across party lines. That's why I have the endorsement of the Arizona Police Officers Association and 14,000 police officers. That's why the Arizona Association of Realtors endorses me, the Chandler Chamber of Commerce, the Tucson Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Colangelo, and other high-level Republicans, such as Rick Romley. Actually, Republican Rick Romley, former Maricopa County attorney, who gave Mr. Brnovich his first job. He's not endorsing Mr. Brnovich, he's endorsing me, because he knows that my heart and soul passion is protecting and serving the people of Arizona. Now let's look at the past deeds of Mr. Brnovich. He took a time out of all those years that he claims he was prosecuting criminals to actually work to bring more dangerous criminals into the state of Arizona. For 2.5 years, he was a state director and a lobbyist for the Corrections Corporation of America. That's the private prisons. And in 2006, he is on record. This is not a negative character bashing. This is just the honest to God truth. He killed a piece of legislation that would have prevented murders, rapists, and convicts who had a history of assaulting correctional officers. He killed a piece of legislation that would have prevented these types of criminals from being imported into the state of Arizona, imported from other states. And we know what happened in 2007, and we know what happened in 2010. We had escapes in those private prisons of criminals, of killers that went on a killing spree. I was in Kingman in 2010, and those communities were absolutely terrorized. Do we want an Attorney General running the top law enforcement office that has a history of making Arizona less safe instead of safe, and has a history of bringing in people who he associates with that violate the laws and make Arizona less safe. It's about good judgment. It's about who will take care of the people of Arizona going forward. Go to my website at FeliciaForArizona.com and you'll see my record and you'll see why I'm the best candidate for Attorney General.
Okay, I feel like I need to give you a chance to rebut. Excuse me, anything she just said.
I will just say that folks can go to my website, markforaz.com. They can learn more about me. I think there's been some mischaracterizations today. I just want to focus once again. I mean, there's a reason why I had a security clearance. There's a reason why I served as a federal prosecutor, why I was a gang prosecutor. I have worked my entire career to keep my community safe, and we need somebody that understands what it takes to put people in prison and keep people in prison to keep our community safe, and that is my commitment.